Hello guys, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be discussing the Vancouver Canucks and if they can return to the playoffs in the 2019-20 season. Now, the Vancouver Canucks are kind of in this middle road where they made some moves to be rebuilding, some moves to be competitive, but do I see them as even a playoff contender, and do I see them even having a chance of making the playoffs next season? Watch till the end to find out. Now, once again, the Vancouver Canucks are one of the most interesting teams in the NHL next season. In a pretty fascinating Pacific Division, it's going to be a tight race till the end, and the Vancouver Canucks have one of the better chances of making the playoffs in that Pacific Division. But still, even in that Pacific Division, I don't think there's going to be 4 or 5 playoff spots there. The Central Division will likely take up those wildcard spots. So for Vancouver to topple San Jose, Calgary, Vegas, even a team like Arizona, it'll be a hard task, to say the least. Now, the last time the Vancouver Canucks made the playoffs was the 2014-2015 season when they lost to the Calgary Flames in the first round. If they miss the playoffs again, that'll be the 5th consecutive year where they missed the playoffs. And for a team that's been rebuilding, I would say it's been a little bit more slower compared to some other rebuilds, aka like the Toronto Maple Leafs. But when it comes to Vancouver, again, the future is there for them right now. You got Elias, Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Brock Boeser, Bo Horvat, and on that goaltending side, you got Thatcher Demko, Jacob Markstrom, who's solid. Overall, there's a solid team there that has a decent chance to make the playoffs, especially in a weak Pacific Division. But again, even at the division, you got the top-end talents, San Jose, Vegas, the top 2 teams that'll likely be good again. Unless a team like Calgary just ends up stinking and ends up fluking again, I don't know if the Vancouver Canucks can really have the best chance of making the playoffs, unless there's a wild card spot open, which might be the case this next season, as maybe a couple essential teams maybe take a step back. Now, of course, we all heard the news this past week that the Vancouver Canucks extended GM Jim Benning for 3 more years. Obviously, the Vancouver Canucks have a lot of faith in Jimbo, and when it comes to a rebuild, he's definitely good at that. But when it comes to anything else, trading, free agency, it's not the greatest when it comes to Jim Benning. And again, to lead that team into a playoff spot, into a playoff contender, I'm not sure if Jim Benning is really the guy for that. He might be a guy like a Ron Hextall, who's great at a rebuild, but when you finally get into contention, it might not be there. And for the Vancouver Canucks, he's made some moves to try and get them into contention, but he's kind of made the wrong moves to try and get them as a contender. Of course, Vancouver has made some big name splashes technically in the past couple of months. Obviously, they ended up trading for JT Miller from the Tampa Bay Lightning, a deal that went away with their first round pick in either 2020 or 2021, which is definitely a risky bet. And in free agency, they signed Tyler Myers to an atrocious overpaid deal. They also got Michael Furland, who is a solid two-way guy, has some angstiness to him, is also overpaid though. But for the Vancouver Canucks, again, the free agency has never been their strong suit. Whenever they make a free agent move, it's likely to end up terrible, unless it's Antoine Roussel, let's be honest. But just in general, when it comes to Vancouver, they made some moves to strengthen their team on paper. But again, even on that team right now, a team that was pretty bad last season, to me, it might not be enough. Now, after Jim Benning was extended, we also got some good quotes from him, and he also had some interesting things to say. He said that he wanted to get a first-round pick back, a pick that he ended up sending to the JT Miller trade this next season, possibly around the trade deadline. And that also tells me that he also wants to be competitive, but at the same time still get his picks back, which I don't understand how he's going to be able to get that done. Maybe he trades a guy like Jacob Markstrom or something. Hopefully Demko plays well. But if he's going to get his first-round pick back, he's likely going to send a pretty good player back to a team that will give up that first-round pick. And even then, you already have guys like Michael Furland, Tyler Myers, and JT Miller who you just traded for. You want to be competitive and also rebuilding at the same time, which we know in the NHL has almost never worked. And that's where the identity crisis comes into play for Vancouver, because they're a team that you can make the case could be finish maybe bottom 10 in the NHL, or they can maybe grab a spot wildcard wise, or even the Pacific Division. It is that crazy of a team right now. And again, we don't really know what they really are made of yet. Those big acquisitions, JT Miller, Tyler Myers, and obviously Michael Furland, we don't know how they'll factor into that team just quite yet. But they're a team that, again, has some firepower, some more than they had last year at least, and they're a team that in the Pacific Division can hopefully be competitive and throughout the year. In the past couple of years, we've seen them be very solid in the first couple of months. It's been a trend that they've been fantastic in the first couple of months, and then the rest of the season they just fall down. But this next season could be a different story, and hopefully for Vancouver fans, they're a lot more consistent. Now, in the Pacific Division, to me, there are 2 locks for the playoffs, that being the San Jose Sharks and the Vegas Golden Knights. Those are 2 teams that, for me, are slam dunks, but you got 3 other teams that are kind kind of in that maybe tier. The Vancouver Canucks, who again could be competitive in the Pacific Division. You also got the Calgary Flames, who if the goaltending doesn't stay consistent, might end up missing the playoffs. You also got the Arizona Coyotes, who are always just a wild card in that Pacific Division, whether they make the playoffs or not. So for the Vancouver Canucks, they'll have quite a few teams that will be competitive also. And even though the Pacific Division is not the greatest division, there's a lot of teams that will be fighting for those playoff spots. And to me, there are still tons of questions surrounding the Vancouver Canucks. Again, you got the goaltending with Jacob Markstrom, who is a very solid and underrated goaltender, and Thatcher Demko, who is a guy that, again, is a prospect still. Right now is unproven, but can show a lot more in the NHL. The goaltending, yes, has some promise, but it's not exactly proven to be this elite goaltending tandem yet. You also have the defense, who's one of the worst in the NHL last season. You got a guy like Tyler Myers, who's not the greatest defensively either, but Quinn Hughes hopefully will have a full, healthy season and will be an impact rookie, and hopefully for Vancouver Canucks will at least be in Calder contention. For that defense to be all that great, to be even decent, Quinn Hughes will have to be very good in his rookie year. Now, going on to the Vancouver Canucks offense, to me, one of their biggest strengths, they still got a lot of question marks there. Brock Boeser, who's an RFA, isn't even signed yet. Elias Pettersson, who knows how he'll do in his sophomore year. You got guys that probably should have been traded already, guys like Louis Eriksson, Nikolai Goldobin, that could end up staying on the team. Again, there's a lot of question marks just in general, and even with one of their strengths, the power play, the forwards, whatever it might be, there's still a lot of question marks there. And that's what happens when you're a rebuilding team and a contending team at the same time. Again, for them to fully commit to one side, it hasn't really happened yet, but this next season will likely say what they're going to be in the next few years. If they end up missing the playoffs, they're still a rebuilding team, but if they end up making the playoffs, they could be competitive in the next few years at the very least. Looking at the Vancouver Canucks right now, I have faith in them being at least competitive in that Pacific Division. Again, that offense is strong. I think the defense can be a little bit better too, and the goaltending can be solid, guys like Markstrom and Thatcher Demko. And again, with Vancouver, I think they want to be competitive too. I don't think it's the be-all, end-all if they end up missing the playoffs or even making the playoffs. I think they just want to have a strong roster, a team that looks good for the future, and right now they definitely do. With one of the best prospect pools in the NHL and one of the best futures right now in the NHL. I think for the Vancouver Canucks to actually make the playoffs next season, I think a ton will have to go right. Again, that goaltending and guys like Markstrom will have to be as good, if not better, to actually make it. That offense, some of those question marks will have to be filled throughout the season, and that defense has to become at least decent for them to make the playoffs in that pretty competitive Pacific Division. And when it comes to other teams, again, a lot of other teams in the Pacific are trying to make the playoffs. Even a team like Edmonton could have an outside chance at making it. So for Vancouver, while they have a more improved roster on paper, while some of those younger guys will obviously get better, it'll be a super tough task to actually get it done, though it is not impossible whatsoever. Now, when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks, they're a team that I would love to see make the playoffs next season. But when it comes to actual expectations and reality, I'm not sure if it'll actually end up happening. When it comes to Vancouver, again, the strength of the roster, I just don't think is playoff ready, at least not yet. It might be in the season after next season, and that's when Vancouver is really ready for the playoffs. But this next season, even if they do end up making the playoffs, I think they're a first-round exit at the best, even a sweep at that point. And for Vancouver, it might not just be worth it. So I think the future is there. Right now they got some fantastic young players, but making the playoffs next season, to me, I just don't see it happening. But again, in that crazy Pacific Division, pretty much anything could happen. In the NHL, we see standings go unexpected all the freaking time. So for Vancouver to actually make the playoffs, it isn't a sure bet whatsoever, but then making the playoffs, to me, it wouldn't surprise me, but it also isn't my expectation at all. But of course, with this video, I need to hear your guys' thoughts down in those comments down below. So let me know what you think about the Vancouver Canucks and their playoff chances. Do you think they can make it? Do you think they cannot? And of course, the question to you, do you think they'll be at least competitive? And do you see them making the playoffs next season? But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you should click on this card right here to watch my playlist on all of my NHL predictions and picks throughout the years. It's worth it. Trust me. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on the Vancouver Canucks and if you think they can make the playoffs. I'm Nathan, and I'll see you guys in the next vacation vlog. Goodbye.